Chelsea want to do the same thing they did to Arsenal on Hutchinson, a 19-year-old Jamaican English player. In the summer, they signed him and took him away. Secondly, they want to go on and hijack Nwaneri, one of the wonder kid, 15 years of age, to get him from Rokani to Cobham, where they train from at Chelsea. Then we are talking about Danilo, a very huge update coming in from the president or the spokesperson or the president of Palmeiras in Brazil, hinting on Arsenal's interest, but no other further conversations have been held between Arsenal and a team called Palmeiras. Then David Austin is going to come in through and tell us what he thinks about Danilo to Arsenal. Is he still a priority signing for Arsenal or not? Then we have another journalist revealing to us that it's only not Nwaneri that Chelsea are really looking for. They're looking for wonder kids in every genre in the Premier League and the Championship. Then lastly, we are going to discuss about Mason Mount being watched by Liverpool. Liverpool want to go on and sign Mason Mount from a team called Chelsea. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys? And where are you watching us from? Smash the like button, comment and share, guys. And if you're only watching us for the very first time, lower right bottom corner is the place to be. The black button has the word subscribe. Smash it, and after smashing it, hit the notification bell that will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this channel. It's really a very good day. World Cup ended. We are back to normal, and I think tomorrow the Carabao Cup is really going to be in action, and you guys are really going to be in contention to watch, all in ability to watch very many games of the Carabao Cup, with the biggest happening on Thursday. It's going to be between Chelsea, it's going to be between Man City, it's going to be between Man City and which team? It's going to be between Man City and Liverpool. It's going to be played on Thursday. But tomorrow, you are going to watch Wolves versus Gillingham, Southampton versus Lincoln City, Newcastle versus Bournemouth, MK Dons versus Leicester, Charlton versus Brighton, and Blackburn Rovers versus Nottingham Forest. Those are the 6 games that are really going to be played tomorrow, all today. Then on Wednesday, United is playing Burnley, and there is only one game of United versus Burnley. And on Thursday, Man City is playing Liverpool, a very huge one to go on and watch. So if at all you feel like football, you've been missing club football, today or tomorrow, you guys are really going to be occupied, and just make it a point and keep it this channel, because you're going to be bringing you the updates. And tomorrow I think I'm going to drop that match prediction between Man City and Liverpool. If at all you want to watch that of Manchester United, you can as well go to the United Matters channel, my other channel that does strictly United content. You can go there and get that content in there for you. Now let's start with Danilo. A story was really told to us by a man known as Steve K. Steve K is really a guy that is really close to transfers, and he's having some credible information and credible sources. And he was the first person to lay out this story. And today, Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead to confirm us through the article put out by the president of Palmeiras about the Danilo situation. He said the following before the president of Palmeiras came out and he told us what he told us today through Fabrizio Romano. Arsenal in condition to a winger, want to buy Arsenal in addition to a winger, want to sign or buy a midfielder as early as January. Sporting director Edu had 2 sets of talks with Danilo agent, no issue on player side. Now it's up to negotiate the price with Palmeiras bids already rejected. Now, this guy has told us that Arsenal has held talks with the agent of Danilo. You get? No issue on player side. You get? So that means the issues with the club, and that's why I come out to give him credit, because even Fabrizio Romano has gone ahead and quoted this guy, the president of Palmeiras, and this is what the president had to say, that Danilo is a very important player for our squad. As of now, we've not received any proposal from teams abroad, tells Global. We haven't had any consultations. If we do, we will analyze what's best for us and the player. You see, for these Brazilian teams, they really like to sell their players to Europe, and they value Danilo at 25 million pounds. If at all any team raises that amount of money, that is 25 million pounds or 30 million euros, you'll be getting Danilo. Arsenal knows that very well. They made a bid in the summer. It was rejected because they wanted to keep the player to see to either they win the Copa Libertadores, Riba something. That's how their Champions League is called in South America. They wanted to win it, and I think they went ahead to win it with Danilo. And now they promised Danilo that we're going to let you go in January. But Arsenal had really approached them in the summer. But right now, Arsenal has not yet gone ahead to approach them as confirmed by the president. And that goes in alignment with what Steve Kerr told us, that Arsenal has held two sets of discussions with his agent, but they've not yet gone ahead to approach the club where the player Danilo plays for. And obviously, that's exactly what we've been told by Danilo. But it's really a complicated situation for Arsenal after the injury of Gabriel Jesus. That's why things are really playing down signing Danilo, because in the midfield of Arsenal, it's really packed, and there is no way they're going to go in and really make him the priority, unless otherwise they are done with signing their players that they are interested in, as David Austin is telling us that it has really panned out to be that he's no longer a priority at Arsenal. Now, David Austin has told us that Palmeiras midfielder Danilo, age 21, has heavily been linked to Arsenal in particular, but is not thought to be a target for them at the present. Now, he is not a target at the present, meaning that he is in the plans of Arsenal, but he's not a priority target at the moment. He would have been if at all Gabriel Jesus never got an injury. But with the injury of Gabriel Jesus coming into the mix, it really turns out everything into Arsenal prioritizing two forwards other than midfielders. Reason being, the midfield of Arsenal is really stiff. If you're having Thomas Partey back, you're having this other man, El Nini is back. You are having Sambi Albert Lokonga. All those three play as central defensive midfielders in the team of Arsenal, meaning that there is no need for them to go out and bring in a player. And if I told them to bring in a player, why should they go out and bring in a player who is not Premier League proven? Yet there is a player in the names of Tielemans who is really Premier League proven, and they can get him at the same amount of money, and they can get him less the amount of money they're going to go in and pay for Danilo, because I believe if Leicester is to get more money or a lot from Tielemans, they won't exceed 15 million pounds from any team that's going to take him, because he'll be left with 6 months on his contract and he might decide to run it down. But if at all Arsenal want to sign a midfielder, I think Tielemans is the ideal signing for them, because he is Premier League proven. Secondly, he was the first to be admired by the manager before Danilo. Thirdly, he can fit into that team like a glove, because the team of Arsenal is tailor-made for Tielemans to go on and really succeed and really shine in that team of Arsenal. So I believe David Austin is right and the president of Palmeiras is right. The reason as to why Arsenal has not gone ahead to put in those talks to the next level as they did in the summer is because Arsenal are looking for other positions to fulfill. They want Mikhailo Modric, they want a centre forward, and after getting those two in, then they look at how to get in a midfielder depending on the budget they'll be having. And obviously, we've been told that they've been given £50 million to spend. That means it's only going to go for one player. So I don't really see Arsenal going in for Danilo as a midfielder. That's it, as David Austin is telling us that he is not a target for the present. But I believe in the summer, if he doesn't leave Palmeiras, Arsenal will go in for him. Reason being, it will be all out for El Nini to leave the club, according to me. Even if he doesn't leave, they'll bring in Danilo to see to it that he starts to get used at Arsenal as El Nini gets done with his contract. Remember, he was given 1 year. He was given 1 year and another optional year, meaning that he has a contract of 2 years. And Arsenal will be looking either to trigger the other option of 1 year or not, because El Nini is a player that really loves the club. So Arsenal needs to be so much in wanting forwards because of the injury of Gabriel Jesus, but they should keep in mind a scenario of Enzo Fernandez relating to Danilo. Let me give you an example of Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez, you saw him. He was named the young player at the World Cup, 21 years of age. He plays for Benfica. He was playing for River Plate down in, is it Argentina? That's where he was playing from. And at that time, he was valued at 20 million euros. Benfica bought him at 20 million euros. Now, if you don't have 80 or 100 million euros, you can't go in and really get that player. Now, isn't Arsenal making a mistake not to sign this player, Danilo, at 25 million pounds? Because if at all he crosses to Ajax or Monaco, those two teams are really in chasing of this signature, the signature of Danilo, by not signing him. Because if at all he crosses, that player is going to be sold at like 80 or 90 or 100 million euros. That's it. So, I don't know what you think about it, but I believe if I'm Edu, I go in and really sign this player. Even if I don't sign him now, I rather sign a contract with Palmeiras, telling them that I'm going to get you 25 million pounds in the summer. I'm giving you that player. Stay with him. Everything is going to be done in the summer. I'm signing that player. I think that's better. It's a better deal to do. You see what Chelsea did on Nkunku? That's how these are supposed to be done. Go in, sign that player, and bring him on later. Even Real Madrid did the same thing on Endrick. Endrick is a player, 16 years of age, playing for Palmeiras again. Very talented player, and Real Madrid has bought the player at 65 million euros, meaning that that's the way to go. And that player is going to join Real Madrid 2 years from now. Imagine spending 65 million euros, 45 million euros up front, and 20 million euros of add-ons on a 16-year-old. That's where the game of football is going to. And he's playing for the same team known as Palmeiras, meaning that Palmeiras have known that we are selling the next big thing to Real Madrid at 65 million euros. And you know that Danilo is the next big thing in the midfield area. So I believe Arsenal should have gone in and really pay that, make a payout for that player, and then leave him at the club known as Palmeiras. Then he will join them maybe in the summer. Even Man City did it when they were signing Julian Alves, who scored 4 goals at the World Cup. They went, bought him at 18 million euros from where I was playing at, I think it was River Plate. Then he came in the summer. I think that's the best way Arsenal are supposed to go on and get that deal done and dusted. Now, let's go to the Nwaneri. Nwaneri is a 15-year-old Arsenal player who really made his debut against Brentford when Arsenal beat Brentford by 3-0. He came on and played some 5-6 minutes. 15-year-old, and it's unbelievable that a 15-year-old got a debut in the Premier League. He doesn't look 15 on his face, but obviously he's 15. Nwaneri, left-footed. He is really exciting. He's an exciting player, and Chelsea, after hijacking Hutchinson from Arsenal this last summer, they want to go on and really hijack another wonder kid from Arsenal. And this story has been brought to you by who has really gone ahead to report us this story. It's a guy known as Simon Phillips, and I want to give you the details of Simon Phillips as he came out and really portrayed this story to us. He broke it today. He's Simon Phillips. He's a Chelsea FC fan writer podcast at Talk Chelsea. That's where he writes from. He has told us that Chelsea are targeting 25% of first team to be made. I think this one should be the first we should put out. We are being told by Chelsea FC 365 that Chelsea eyeing up Arsenal and Fulham talents Ethan Nwaneri and Luke Harris, whilst Jude Scopper-Bell holds talks over move to Man City. Joan Forth from Villarreal added to a list to potential targets, can play CB and right back. It shows you that Chelsea are really targeting very many players, but Nwaneri is the one that has really made headlines today and has been trending on Twitter. Nigerian but English born. Obviously, he is really looked at as a player of one for the future for England. To one extent, they call him to play in the England under-21s with the likes of Emily Smith-Rowe, James Garner, and very many others. Now, this story has been confirmed by Simon Phillips that has told us the reason as to why Chelsea want to sign Ethan Nwaneri. Chelsea are targeting 25% of the first team to be made of academy players by 2030. One of the targets on the list is Arsenal player Ethan Nwaneri. Ethan Nwaneri is exciting. He's exciting. And in the game that saw Arsenal lose 2-0 to Juventus, they brought him on. And in the space of just 10 minutes that he played on the field of play, he had close to 3 shots directed onto the goal of Juventus, though none of those was close. But it shows you how good he is with his swift left foot. Mikel Arteta rates him highly. The Elhand Academy of Arsenal rates him highly. The English National Team Development Department, even the coach rates him highly. So he is one of those that everyone is keeping an eye to. But will Chelsea will Arsenal allow to lose another wonder kid to a team called Chelsea? Because Hutchinson, if I told you watch the game where Ahmad Broja got an injury from, he was really playing a very big role into that team, and obviously no one would like to lose out a player like Nwaneri to that side. But I believe Nwaneri is going nowhere. Mikel Arteta has shown him what his future lies like at Arsenal by trusting him to give him a debut at Brentford. With Brentford, when Arsenal was 3 goals in the lead, obviously that puts that kid into a perfect position. He played 2 games in Dubai when they are in the warm winter training. He played against Lyon, he played against AC Milan, and then he came and played against Juventus. Obviously, the development for Nwaneri is better at Arsenal, according to me, than Chelsea. Reason being, this manager has shown him trust, and after entrusting him, he should also go ahead and reciprocate the trust to the main man, Mikel Arteta. But I believe this story might have been put out by the agent. You know, these agents know how to play these games. Why? He might be wanting an increment on the amount of money he earns. Like for Alejandro Garnacho, he was earning like £5,000 a week at Manchester United, and now they are planning to multiply it by 10 to give him a more improved contract. Then in Nwaneri, when you look at him at Arsenal, let me see, Nwaneri, I think he's earning like £5,000 a week, and I think he should be earning more, because it's all about making money nowadays, and these kids are really going to be making loads and loads of money, because a player like Kylian Mbappe is earning close to €1 million per week. €1 million per week. Meaning that Nwaneri will also be wanting to go on at least earn like 30,000 per week with his agent, because that means the more he goes in through, the more he really gets in. They're telling me that he joined on 1st July 2022. This is when he joined Arsenal. Ethan Chiberere Nwaneri, that is the guy who joined Arsenal in 2022 July, meaning that he has not even spent here very many years, meaning that he has been trusted by Mikel Arteta, and to me, I believe Nwaneri is going nowhere. Then let's conclude this episode with the story coming in from Simon Phillips again via Give Me Sport. He's confirming to us that Liverpool are interested in Mason Mount. The contract of Mason Mount looks like is causing loads of uncertainty at Chelsea, and maybe he wants out of this club if at all they don't give him a certain amount of money that he really wants. Mason Mount is really one of those attacking forwards, those attacking forward midfielders at Chelsea that came to limelight because Chelsea was really prevented from going out to go on and really signing players. Remember, by the time Lampard came in through the first season, Chelsea were on the ban to go on and buy players. That's why you saw the likes of Reece James coming in through. The other one was after Reece James, there came in through a player known as Tammy Abraham and Mason Mount. Those 3 players were utilized a lot by Frank Lampard, and they were with him. I think at Derby he had Mason Mount and Tommy Abraham. Then he brought them at Chelsea, and they got enough minutes to play. Now, with his contract running out in 2024, what does that mean? After the summer of 2023, towards the summer of 2023, he will be left with just 1 year on his contract. Now, we've been told that Liverpool are keeping an eye on Mason Mount's contract situation at Chelsea and are going to be there waiting if the midfielder doesn't sign a new deal. Now, Mason Mount is a player born and bred at Chelsea. He's loved by very many people. But the big question is, does he suit the playing style of Graham Potter? Because He's a central attack midfielder and he doesn't hold the ingredients and minerals in the system of Potter. That's the truth. You might not like it, but it's the truth. He doesn't have those minerals. When you look at the players that he has been using, that he has been playing with at Brighton, they are really more talented than Mason Mount, because even Mason Mount can't go ahead to play ahead of Jude Bellingham in that position at the English national team. What does that mean? He is not really one of those that they believe can get the job done. If Southgate can drop you, who is a pragmatic coach, what of a coach who is unpragmatic? That is Graham Potter. That means he's going to get in a player like McAllister. You saw McAllister in the Argentine national team. That's the guy who has been doing all the work alongside Caicedo in the Brighton team with this manager known as Graham Potter. So I believe Mason Mount, however good he is in scoring goals and being direct, I believe he doesn't fit the philosophy and the right profile of the player Graham Potter wants to be playing into his central attack midfield area, and that creates a lot of creativity in the midfield of Chelsea. Obviously, that is a person who dictates all the attacks of Chelsea. They have to pass through him, and he's not good at that. So, what are they going to do? Are they going to give him a new deal or not? Is Graham Potter going to improve him into a more better player? Let's wait and see. But that is going to be reliant on whether he puts pen to paper or not. But Liverpool is all there waiting. If at all he does not sign a new deal, they're going to go on and really put Mason Mount onto their ladder and sign him. So guys, thank you very much for watching in through. Rokani David is my name. Your reactions to Danilo to Arsenal. Really looks like it has broken. No deal. Nwaneri Hijack plotted by Chelsea. What do you think about it? Then lastly, Mason Mount targeted by Liverpool as a free agent next summer, but one. Cover you all in the blood of Jesus Christ. May the Almighty Lord protect you abundantly. I'm out.